It is an asterisk in the record book. And I think it would have been a championship season. I know they didn't have the best record in the league. The Los Angeles Lakers at 49-14 trailed the Milwaukee Bucks at 53-12. The Clippers, right behind them both, at 44-20. But I think the Lakers weren't getting full credit for what they'd accomplished already this season, what LeBron James is referencing right there. I don't think they're getting full credit for what they did in the final weekend of the season as they beat both the Clippers and the Bucks. I believe this would have been a championship season for the Los Angeles Lakers. But that's simply my belief. We can reverse engineer this thing. Now, I don't believe in numerology, but when you start looking at the NBA's past, you might get a glimpse into its future. I got a buddy in New York. He drives an Uber, and he's into numerology. He's from Africa, and he's got a little book. He plays the numbers in Harlem. And this book tells him the patterns you can look at, what numbers lead to the next. They're totally divorced from reality. I mean, there's no connection to what these numbers mean. They're not quantifying anything. It's just patterns that you're seeing in the numbers. The NBA actually lends itself to patterns. It actually lends itself to numerology. And what it suggests is whoever the champion is next year in 2021 when we come back probably gives us insight into who would have been the champion in 2020. We might be able to reverse engineer this thing. What I mean is this. The NBA is a league that is built on dynasties. It's very rarely a one-and-done champion. The NFL, that's full of random chance. One-game playoffs, anyone can win. When you look at the NFL record books, you'll see champions scattered here and there, one and done. But when you look at the NBA, it's patterns. It's dynasties. It's the Bulls with 6, the Spurs with 5. It's the Lakers with 3 and then 2. It's the Warriors with 3. Rarely does a franchise jump up, win one, and then recede back to the pack. You got the 2004 Detroit Pistons. They did that. You got the 2011 Dallas Mavericks. They did that. And you have the 2019 Toronto Raptors. They also jumped up 1-1. And all the Raptors were good this year. They were nobody's title favorites. So what you realize is one and done, randomness. Rising to the top, then receding to the pack is rarely the case in the NBA. Rather, it's a succession of dynasties, a succession of repeat champions, one after another. If we presume that's the pattern, if we presume that's the standard operating procedure in the NBA, whoever would have won in 2020 is the team that will probably win in 2021. And as you look at the rosters of the Bucks, the Lakers, and the Clippers, what you realize is 2021's champion is probably likely to come from that same pack. But I don't know that we can put the Lakers as the favorites. Most of each of those squads' teams will come back, are under contract for 2020-2021 season. After that, it's all bets off. Giannis is a free agent. We don't know what AD will do this next year. He's got a player option. But in large part, it will be Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Patrick Beverley, Lou Williams coming back for the Clippers. If AD opts back in or re-signs with the Lakers, you're going to have the core components of that Lakers squad coming back. And Giannis and Middleton and Bledsoe will all be there for the Bucks. But they will all also be 1 year older. And for a guy who's been in the league for 17 years, how many years can we continue to bet that LeBron James will be in his prime? In other words, while I feel the Lakers would have won it all in 2020, if you're betting on who the champion is in 2021 and saying to yourself, patterns emerge, dynasties are built, repeat champions are common, I don't know that we can say the Lakers would be the champions in 2021. Were they at the beginning of a 2, 3, 4-time championship performance? Do you feel good about that? Or do you feel better that the Clippers were on the verge of one of those runs? Or in fact, Giannis and the Bucks were about to begin their dynasty. Jalen Rose, ESPN basketball analyst, he was on Get Up, and he's somewhat pessimistic for what was lost this year for the Lakers. He's somewhat pessimistic for the one-time champion. He saw the window for LeBron, and he saw it now. Listen.
If you look at LeBron James in his 17th year, Greeny, at his age, when you build a squad around him, of course Anthony Davis is an anchor, but then all of a sudden you look deeper into the roster, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Avery Bradley, Danny Green, Rajon Rondo. They don't have long-term situations with the Lakers. They were brought there to try to win a championship this year. So therefore, if this squad isn't playing, what happens next year to a Kyle Kuzma, who really didn't fit in with Anthony Davis and LeBron because he got injured as the season started? So for LeBron, other teams are ascending. The Clippers in their own building, the Bucks in the Eastern Conference with Giannis, who's probably going to win this year's MVP. So absolutely, this is LeBron's window. If they don't get it done this year, I don't believe it happens.
Jalen Rose saying this 1 year, this one moment in time, the moment that has now been lost was the LeBron James Lakers window. I feel good that they would have won it all this year, but I don't feel as good that they would have won it in 2021 or 2022. And if I recognize the patterns, if I play the numerology, if I say that the NBA is more often than not a league dominated by dynasties, I can't say the Lakers, more so than the Bucks or the Clippers, were on the verge of that dynasty.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.